Well, the Ogallala Aquifer is probably about 85% under the state of Nebraska. A little bit goes to northeast Colorado and it extends south into Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas. But the deepest part of it, which is about 5,000 feet of water depth, is located in the sandhills of Nebraska, which is probably about 150 miles directly east of here. It is a finite source of water. It has a slow recharge because of the depth of that water. So we have to take care of protecting that so we can utilize it for as long as possible.
We raise wheat, corn, sunflowers, edible beans, which are both Great Northern beans and pinto beans, sugar beets, and alfalfa. We're not going to raise sugar beets. We're not going to raise corn over 200 bushel an acre, and we're not going to raise edible beans successfully without reliance on irrigation. You know, we've had years like 2020, 2012 that made us really remember who's in charge. And we don't always get this surplus moisture, so anytime we can preserve, we need to do it. We can't just splurge that and ignore the value in trying to preserve an extra inch of water, because sometimes it might make the difference in a successful crop and not.
One of the things that I've noticed with Chris and Tom is the no-till situation has really been a big impact on the moisture conservation in the area, whether it be groundwater from the Ogallala Aquifer or surface water from snow melt in the mountains west of here. Their use of those type of things, along with, the soil monitoring probes, it really pays off in the long run.
The biggest thing that we have for our water management is crop diversity. We have crops that use more water like alfalfa and sugar beets and corn in dry years. But then we incorporate other crops like wheat and edible beans in the rotation. Every crop has its function in the rotation. My cousin Tom runs all the sugar beets, and we plant sugar beets into that wheat stubble, which provides wind protection to prevent wind erosion and then moisture conservation, because that wheat is harvested in July. And then that residue out there protects and catches snow in the wintertime and protects it in the summertime for shading and things like that. And then he strip tills it, and then come spring, you have a seed bed that's typically warm enough to handle that crop and get it going in the spring. And everyone's just trying to do something to help diversify their operation and utilize what water they do have or what rainfall they do have to impact their bottom line the best.